Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up that screen. Bru McCoy has been ruled eligible. We're getting that from all kinds of different sources, and I think that's real good news for the Vols, and I think it's even better news for USC. And the reason I say it's better news for USC is that they're going to have the Vol Nation off of them, because I can tell you for me, I was getting ready to take the gloves off. I've already covered this once, and I was a little bit rough on USC, but I was going to do one tonight that was way rougher. And I'd say there's a little sigh of relief over there in USC land, because it was getting ready to get brutal.
You called down the thunder, well, now you got it.
Yeah, Vol Nation was getting ready to bring down the thunder, and it was going to be all on USC. It probably wasn't going to be too much on NCAA, because had USC simply signed the NPO document, which would have taken him 12 seconds to sign, he would have been eligible months ago. But they didn't, because, you know, USC didn't want to be cooperative. And I really think it's important that the commits to USC and anybody looking to go there, you know, they need to take that into consideration, that, you know, you're not going to get any assistance if something doesn't work out for you there. They're going to get mad, and they're going to make it more difficult for you if they can. So take that into consideration, that they're not going to be your friend. Just understand that. They'll tell you one thing, but they're probably going to do something else. And if USC did sign that document, it's probably because of Vol Nation.
Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
All right, so let's get into this article. And we're seeing this from a lot of different sources, and it's actually, this goes over how a lot of people think he's going to be very dominant. It says Tennessee finally got good news on one of its newcomers. Bru McCoy is officially eligible to play for the Vols this season after the NCAA waiver was approved. So it was NCAA, so USC did not help him. That's weak. That's just weak. The former five-star prospect joined the program in May after spending the previous 3 seasons at Southern Cal, but as revealed by Josh Heupel, Tennessee had one final hurdle to clear, and that final hurdle proved to be the most difficult one, with the unwillingness by McCoy's former school forcing the process to go the more complicated route through the NCAA waiver process. Again, they could have done it in 12 seconds. Said the 6'3", 220 McCoy, he's huge. He's going to be a real mismatch out there on the edge, along with Cedric Tillman. We're going to be a nightmare on the outside. He missed 2019 due to an illness, and then he was arrested but never charged in connection to the incident that everything was talking about, and he got suspended by USC. The case against him was dropped in February, nearly a month after he went into the transfer portal, and he committed to Tennessee in May. And Heupel said his best football is still a long ways ahead of him. Now they're talking about the compliment to Cedric Tillman, and yeah, I don't know how you cover both of them. Look, the defensive coordinators out there, you're in trouble. You got a problem, because you've got to cover 2 guys that really need to be double teamed, and Cedric Tillman and now Bru McCoy. Well, in the middle, you've got all these super fast guys in the slot and all that, and you're going to have to cover them too. So I don't know what you're going to do. And then when Squirrel White's out there running around, it's going to get ugly. So I think y'all have got real problems, and I hate that for you, but just going to have to deal with it. And Tillman said from the moment Bru came, he said, I was excited. He said, Velas kind of teased me. He said, you guys are going to become best friends, because that's going to take a lot of pressure off Tillman. They're not going to be able to focus on him anymore. You got a guy 6'3", 220 that can run like he can, and he got great hands. You know, remember, this guy was the #1 athlete when he came out, #1. So, you know, big-time 5-star. Said that he's won over the guys there in the locker room. And Hendon Hooker said he's always down to work. He said I could call him at 3 a.m. and he'd be ready to go catch some balls. He said special thing in the receiver room. And so they're real excited about this, obviously. So old Lincoln Riley didn't help him out. USC didn't lift a finger, so that's unfortunate, you know. But I think, like I say, the recruits out there that are being told otherwise by USC, oh, we'll help you out. No, they won't. No, they won't. That's obvious. And Lincoln Riley, he couldn't be bothered. I think he was busy spending some of that money he got when he pulled the old Lane Kiffin and left Oklahoma holding the bag, because he was scared to play in the SEC, which is understandable. Look, you know, it's fine to run away. There really is no problem with that. And look, go spend your money.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
There you go.
And Lincoln's got plenty to spend. He just couldn't be bothered with signing a little document that would have helped out a young man. So, you know, karma's a tough thing. And, you know, here's the funny thing. We had a bunch of guys transfer last year, some guys we really, really could have used, our 2 starting linebackers, our 2 starting running backs, 5-star offensive linemen. Did we stand in their way? 30 guys transferred. No, we didn't, because that's not what you do. You know, you don't stand in the way of a young man trying to get his life squared away and having a good future. You don't stand in the way of that. And I just don't get it. I'm glad that the Vols did not do that when all those guys transferred. Look, I'm going to side with the student athlete on this virtually every time, because those guys that are not signing those documents for them, they're making millions and tens of millions of dollars, some of them. And really, give me a break. I'm glad they're doing the NIL money. You know, they're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. They really are. And they need to have an opportunity to play. And if they can play, great. If they can't, so be it. You know, that's the one thing about sports. It doesn't play favors. You're either going to make it or you're not. And you don't get a special leg up out there on the field. You know, nobody cares about your background, whether how much money you got or don't have. They don't care. You're either going to get to play or you're not based on your performance. It's the beauty of sports. All right, folks, and that's good news for the Vols, good news for Bru McCoy, really good news for USC in actuality. But we'll see how he does. Hopefully he takes advantage of this and has a great year. I think he's got 2 years of eligibility left. So, look, this guy's a special athlete. Hopefully, I know Hendon Hooker's going to throw him the ball. You can count on that. And he's got Cedric on the other side. It could get ugly for some teams. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.